next video on House of Machismo podcast. It's House of Machismo.
All right, so you guys know what we're going to talk about. Did anybody actually look anything up on this?
I looked a little bit into it.
I looked a little bit into it
I didn't
also.
go too deep dive, but I probably have a different opinion than most people on the show. So
Yeah.
So
You're like, to hell with it. No, okay. No. Well, I'll probably also get into like TikTok and stuff like that because it's not. It's I feel like it's kind of related, but it's the same subject.
It's the same kind of material.
Yeah. So basically, this is what happened. We're in Texas.
Yes.
And then House Bill 118 passed.
That's the one. Okay, I didn't know which one it was.
Yeah, House Bill 118 passed. So basically, it's a law. And the law requires adult websites to verify users are at least 18 years old using government issue ID or public or private transactional data before being allowed to access content. So what does that mean? Is that in Texas, pretty much it's over of just going to a porn website and just looking up your content and getting it. The idea is because minors can access that. Just like you would looking up anything on Wikipedia. Same thing with Pornhub is the big talk of this. Okay, so
the orange YouTube.
Who's gone to Pornhub?
All the time.
I've gone to Pornhub.
Well, that's how I found out it was blocked.
Yeah,
before the news hit.
Before the news
I was
hit.
trying to get on Pornhub, and I'm like, "Hey."
Okay.
Well, I was actually on Twitter. I was just kind of scrolling. They're like, "Are you real? What is this?" And I was like, "Is this real?" So I kind of typed it in. I was like, "Oh."
Well, the thing I liked about Pornhub, it was like I didn't have to make an account.
Yeah.
I could just go right into it, and then it's access. It's access right there. But I totally get about age verification.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, well, so I went there the other day and I was like, oh, well, okay, this is a little strange. So it was like a really long letter.
It was.
And it was like, hey, this is why we're doing this and that. And honestly, I understand the age verification, right? I get it. You know, I mean, when I was younger, I was watching porn when I shouldn't have been, right? That's the main context of where my thought process comes on it. Do I like it? It's going to be a little bit more a hassle for me, sure. But the thing is, Pornhub doesn't even give you the option to sign into your account if you're in Texas, if you have an account. And so
Just log her.
The unfortunate thing is that signing into an account doesn't guarantee that you're 18 or over.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
So,
but
sorry.
what could be done, I mean, because I made an account for one reason or the other. I think there was like a free special going on for like, I don't know, Valentine's Day or some shit. I was like, okay, well, it's free. Why not?
Right.
Are you alone this year on Valentine's Day?
Come check out K-Rock's channel.
Do you have a left hand or a right hand? Well, we can help you out. Get a free account on Pornhub.
Thousands of single women in your area
Are looking for people like you.
looking for people like Dan.
Yeah. Where are these women?
They're not here. Yeah. But basically, I read the letter, and how it reads is that Pornhub doesn't disagree with the law itself.
Yeah,
they disagree with how they're trying to implement it, which is trying to put the onus onto the website and how they even put how they suggest it, which would be device-based verification. Which I don't even know how that would work. I don't know how, because there's not because your device is your device. There's no other entity verifying your age on it. So I don't know if I necessarily agree with their opinion of an alternative solution. But
so the idea is this. Okay, so when I was like 20 some odd years old, there used to be this service, and I think it was like a bunch of porn companies that would I guess they were owned by the same company, I guess.
Oh,
but
like
there
a
would
hub.
Yeah, but there would be like hundreds, maybe hundreds. I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's a lot of them. And so basically you create an account and you're given a passcode. And so you visit any of these sites and you just enter your passcode and there you go. That's your verification.
Oh, was it Bang Brothers?
No.
I think they belong to the Pornhub network.
Yeah. But so as long as you visited any of these type of sites, then you just put in your PIN code or whatever, and then that was your login. You can enjoy their content or whatever. But I think what the issue comes along is that any possible infraction, if any minor happens to see this content, then they hold the company's that holds the content responsible, financially, legally, and all that. And so that's where I personally have the problem, where it's like, the issue, it comes from parenting. It just does, 100%. 100%. Meaning that if you want to protect your own children from this, then you as a parent are responsible 100% from doing that.
Exactly.
Having a talk with them, having that uncomfortable talk with them, monitoring what's on their cell phone, monitoring what they're doing online and all that. It's not that hard to where you can see what your child is looking at on the cell phone. You can block it, whatever. You can add certain apps and stuff like that. The other problem is that kids are a lot smarter than what the older generation give them credit
Especially
for.
with the technology.
Yeah, they can out-hack their parents. They can. There's just no exception behind it. You are not smarter than your child when it comes to technology. I'm sorry. That's a reality. Accept it. So they'll find a workaround.
Yes.
Okay. And so that's the issue that I have with this. Okay. So I don't need my government to tell me that I can't see certain content, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay. So to use children as a pawn and say that, hey, we're here making, we're here to protect your kids.
Protect the children.
It's like, no, okay. First of all, who, no one has to answer, but who logged into porn websites when they were minors? It just happens. It does. And they grew up just fine.
Yes.
Porn's
very healthy.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
It can also be damaging at the same time.
I get that. And it's not as many as it would for those that were exposed to whatever it is at an early age and stuff. But yes, you are right. It can be very damaging because you form unhealthy expectations.
And habits.
And so, but that falls back on the parents.
Oh, I agree. 100%.
Where you got to pay more attention to what your kids are doing.
Right.
Rather if they're out on the streets doing God knows what, or they're at home watching Disney Plus, with you, as opposed to upstairs doing homework. I just think, I'm just not a big fan of our local legislature or state legislature.
Well, it's like if it was pre-internet porn, and I go to my uncle's secret cabinet and I find all the VHS tapes and dirty mags.
Yeah.
Is the government going to come back and just say, hey, you can't access, Yeah. Like I accessed it because my uncle was a dirty pervert and he had all this porn, and me and my cousins discovered it. We were like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Discovering porn.
Oh,
it was crazy. And but he had like stacks and stacks of it. But now it's like the way that's more accessible now.
Yeah.
They do. I don't feel like the government should just be like, "Hey, you can't watch that," because it's all about like, oh, your purity and all this stuff. And
I think that instead of putting it back on the company, I think they should put it back on the parents and say, if a minor sees it under your watch, then we're going to hold you as a parent responsible, not the company. That's ridiculous.
So I haven't, like I said, I didn't get to read the bill, so I don't know what the actual punishable.
There's civil fines.
It doesn't really
not criminal.
even look like because how Pornhub in that letter that they wrote, they said that basically, it's not really enforceable, and I was like, okay, but it's not Texas that is banning. Pornhub.
Oh no, of course not.
It's Pornhub that's refusing service to Texas.
Correct. That is correct.
I've been looking on the internet, and there's a lot of people trying to narrate it as the Texas government just straight up banned Pornhub. And
it didn't.
Not
okay,
that way.
We'll go ahead and say Texas government did not ban Pornhub. Pornhub just basically said that we don't want to take the responsibility as far as getting fined.
Yes,
they're just covering their ass.
Right. Exactly.
Yes,
I don't blame them in that.
I don't blame them either. I just
it's like a $10,000 a day fine.
Oh, really?
Up to $250,000 per infraction.
Yeah, I don't
and all
agree
that
with that at all.
And so it's like, it's like you can just put these fines. Which does Pornhub really need to pay? Who cares?
Right.
I just I think I'm not like Congress, but I think the spirit of it is some kind of age identification. Like what you were talking about with
right. Okay, so then
I would be okay with that. Yeah. I think that saying, hey, provide the ID. We know it's inconvenient, but we want to try.
Right. Okay. So then I'm not okay with that. I don't need to provide a third party my identification.
Yeah, true.
That it has nothing to do with the company. If it's the company that's asking for age verification, I might be inclined to do that, where I have to upload my ID. But these are like third parties that have to do. So then, what are they doing with their information once they collect it?
Fair enough.
Right. So I'm not a big fan of that. Meaning that I don't have to carry my ID around with me. I'm still an American.
Yeah.
And to prove to you that I'm American shouldn't be a question.
Yeah.
Right.
Same thing with carrying, showing, hey, here's my ID, let me upload it. Here's another thing. Your kids are smart. They'll out-hack you. Out-hack you.
They'll find a way.
Go into your dad's wallet while he's asleep. Upload the ID, whatever, and blah, blah, blah. There you go. And then now they have access to it.
Yeah.
Well, now there's weed paraphernalia websites where you're going to go buy a bong on a website or anything like that. They do age verification, but most of the time it's like, are you over 18 or are you under 18?
That doesn't work, unfortunately.
But they have like
but
that.
they at least
or
have
you can put your birth date in and it lets you go in.
I mean, I'm okay with even that. Like a Steam page, like anything that's rated M on the Steam page. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a video game marketplace on computers. Basically, they say, "Hey, what's your age?" Yes, you could lie, right? That it is. I mean, that is what it is. But I mean, as far as Pornhub goes, you don't even have that acknowledging. Oh yeah, I made.
So even making an account doesn't ask you if you're over 18 to click and stuff like that.
Honestly, I don't think. I mean, it was years ago that I made it.
I don't even have an account.
I don't have an account. I
don't have an account just strictly because I can just access it without an account.
Yeah,
but that doesn't.
A simple pop-up message when you enter the website acknowledging, "Hey, I'm 18 plus," I think would be more than acceptable.
Well, I think that would be acceptable for the company because it's like, look, they said that they were this.
Yeah.
But
and
again,
if that's what if that was really all it came down to, I'd be okay with that.
But I think the conversation just needs to be between
the parents. I agree.
Right? Just like, oh God, okay. So just like I think medically, the government shouldn't intervene, and so that should be a conversation between the patient, their doctors, and maybe the family. Same thing with something like this, where it's like there should be a conversation between the children. And the parents.
Yeah.
Right.
That should be a conversation that they have, instead of the government intervening in something like this. But again, they want to be good people and protect the children and all that. And it's like, well, but again, just get a VPN, whatever.
Yeah. Right. At the end of the day, I think VPN sales are going to
Yeah, that's going to be the first workaround the kids are going to find out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm watching Netflix in England. Might as well watch Pornhub.
They're literally like, thank God my parents have a VPN because they don't like being tracked on the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
because of my freedoms.
That British porns were fun anyway.
Right,
the British accent.
Yeah.
Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Be sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram. You can also find us on our YouTube channel and TikTok.